wanna front, I just wanna see ya. Please give me a sign, yeah. Please give me a sign if you wanna come.
Welcome back to Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks. This week marks our 5th episode. I never really thought that it would take off and be somewhat successful, but Mark and I are definitely carving out a little niche here, and I'm glad that you're joining us again. This particular episode, number 5, we've decided to ask someone special to join us. So this particular week, since it's actually a huge week in the comic world, we're going to give you 3 hot picks from 3 cool guys. Here's our guest. Stick around.
DJ Links is in the building.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ Links, back in the building, back in effect, and back on Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks, and I'm your surprise guest for the week, aka the third wheel. Now, let's get into my hot pick. My hot pick for this week is going to be Boom Studios' Berserker #1. Now, this book has been getting a lot of talk, a lot of heat, a lot of publicity, all around that insane ratio variant. But all that aside, there's something that draws me to this book. Now, Berserker #1 is being written by Keanu Reeves. Yes, that Keanu Reeves. Neo, John Wick, Ted. It's being written by Keanu Reeves in collaboration with Matt Kine, with some beautiful artwork done by Alessandro Vitti. Now, this comic book tells the tale of an immortal warrior, half man, half god, walking the earth for centuries, think Highlander, engaged in blood-soaked battles and just epic tales. Along those lines, he loses his mind. Now, present day, who finds him to fight their wars and their bloody tales? None other than the US government. So the US government recruits Berserker. In exchange, they'll give him the answers that he wants, and that's the answers to his very existence. He doesn't know who he is because he went insane a couple of centuries back. So that's the main gist of Berserker #1, and I'm super excited to get that. That's my hot pick. Before I throw it back to Chris, the comic vet, just want to let everyone know to sub up my channel. We're doing that 1K giveaway where we're giving away fantastic prizes. Hit me up on Instagram. It's DJ_links_2010. You know where to find me. And let's kick it back over to Chris, the comic vet.
I'd like to thank DJ Links for coming up and batting that one right out of the park. The pride of New York City right there, folks. Now, I'm going to throw it over to my good friend down in beautiful Georgia. It's Mark from Legion of Comics with his hot pick.
What is up, Comic Army? I'm Mark from the Legion of Comics, and I'm back again to talk about my hot pick for March 3rd. So for me, I'm very excited, and I highly recommend checking out DC's Infinite Frontier issue 0. So in the wake of Death Metal, one of the darkest moments for all the characters of DC Comics, we get this new event. And we had a brief introduction of what the future might look like with the future state stuff. Now we get to come back to the current DC timeline and see how everything has fallen into place. So now we have a brand new structured DC Omniverse where everything that has ever happened in all of DC history is 100% canon and it counts. So this is going to be our introduction into this newly structured DC universe. So it's a great jumping on point. Who knows what kind of new appearances and what kind of origins you're going to be told. We do know that we'll be seeing Yara Flor discovering her powers in the Amazon jungle. We do know that Amanda Waller's planning an invasion on Arkham Asylum. We do know that the Justice League is teaming up with Black Adam. So there's so many new shakeups. We have so many new talent, new artists, new writers, everything that people have kind of been upset with DC about, needing something fresh, something new. Here it is. I'm really looking forward to this. So much potential. I highly recommend checking it out. That issue 0 is going to be coming out. It's going to be an oversized spectacular, and there's some great talent already on it. You have Scott Snyder, Jeff Johns, Becky Cloonan, who was an awesome writer during Future State. You have Joshua Williamson, James Tynion IV. So this is really going to be a springboard for all those titles moving forward from there. So we'll get a good jump start on what's going to be happening. There's no better way to start a new epic event then starting it all packed into one book, so you kind of get an idea and a feel for what you might be interested in moving forward and what might just not be your taste. So it's a great little, I don't know, a palette tester. See what kind of fits for you. If you're not a big DC person, I highly recommend at least picking this up and see if there's anything in there that's kind of up your alley, because there's a lot of brand new stuff happening over at DC right after this book. So be sure to check it out. Don't miss out. Perfect jumping on point. Now let's take it back to the Comic Vet to see what his top pick for the week.
It's a solid pick, Mark. Mark again pulling from the world of DC. Now, it's my pick. I am the Comic Vet. I hope this video finds you safe and well. From Image Comics this week, I'm going to go with a premiere issue. From the mind of Scott Snyder, it's Nocterra #1. This particular issue is going to be $9.99, and it's a double size. So with that being said, let me give you a brief synopsis of Nocterra #1. 10 years after the Earth has plunged into everlasting night that turns all living creatures into monstrous shades, the only way to survive is to stay close to artificial light. Here's where we meet Valentina Riggs, better known as Val, a skilled ferryman who transports people and goods along deadly unlit roads with her heavily illuminated 18-wheeler. Now, there are going to be lots of different covers for this particular issue, and the artwork is done by Tony S. Daniel. Again, it's from the mind of Scott Snyder. You probably know him from his fame from doing Batman for the last God knows how many years. Anyways, this has been a book that's quietly been on my radar for well over a month, and I'm glad that this new comic book day, it's finally getting released. Anyways, Comic Army, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'd like to thank DJ Links again for joining Mark and I this particular week, and myself, I hope that everything is good in your world. Until we see you again, Comic Army, we are Legion. Stick around.